Making headlines, Minister of Environment discloses that this year's COP summit is set to feature the most side events of Maldives. Finance Ministry announces the upcoming sale of T-bills totaling $273 million to support government expenditures. And PSM emerges as a leading name in Maldivian sports journalism, earning accolades at the Maldives Sports Awards. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Utma Mahmoud. Looking into the details, Minister of Climate Change, Environment and Energy, Tariq Ibrahim discloses that this year's COP summit is set to feature the most side events of Maldives. The 29th COP summit, the foremost international conference on climate change, will take place from November 11 to 22nd in Baku, Azerbaijan. Mr. Tariq said that the Maldives will play a significant role in this year's COP summit, hosting 4 side events currently in preparation. These include a collaboration with the Asian Development Bank (ADB) on renewable energy and a side event focused on sustainable coral reef management, emphasizing the importance of reef protection as the chair of the Atoll's nation at COP. He also mentioned plans for an event advocating for funding for the Loss and Damage Fund, as well as launching the Maldives biannual transparency report. Before the summit, the government aimed to hold a special event to gather insights from Maldivian youth on environmental issues. The feedback from this meeting will be used to prepare a statement representing the youth of the Maldives. A senior delegation from the Maldives is expected to attend the COP summit, although details have not yet been disclosed by the government. Last year, the COP28 meeting in Dubai saw participation from the President and a senior delegation from the Maldives. The government is establishing specialized facilities for hazardous chemical management throughout the Maldives, with the first center now operational in Ado City. Proper management of these chemicals is crucial for public health, as past incidents of inadequate oversight have underscored the need for effective measures. Minister of Climate Change, Environment and Energy, Tariq Ibrahim highlighted the significant volume of hazardous chemicals imported into the Maldives, making effective management systems essential. The Ado City facility has been entrusted to WEMCO, and another hazardous chemical management facility is being developed in Wando Ra Atoll. The Ministry of Environment is implementing a phased approach to ensure safe disposal nationwide, with additional facilities planned in Tilafushi. New regulations have been introduced to ensure safe chemical disposal, addressing serious health risks associated with improper handling. The Maldives' commitment to safe chemical management is reinforced by its participation in the Minamata Convention on Mercury, which mandates the phasing out of mercury-containing devices and adherence to environmentally sound disposal standards, supported by financial assistance under the treaty. The Ministry of Finance announces the upcoming sale of Treasury bills, T-bills totaling $273 million to support government expenditures. This issuance will consist of 4 separate T-bills. The offerings include a T-bill of $123.7 million, maturing in 28 days, a T-bill of $11 million, maturing in 98 days, a T-bill of $54 million, maturing in 182 days, and a T-bill of $78 million, maturing in 364 days. The interest rates on these T-bills range from 3.50% to 4.60%, and they will be sold on October 20th. T-bills are short-term financial instruments issued at discounted prices in local currency, with the face value paid back at maturity. While this structure benefits investors, it does not directly benefit the state. Typically, these T-bills are purchased by banks, the Maldives Pension Administration Office, and various public and private companies. The government is introducing measures to boost revenue. Proposed amendments to existing laws have been submitted to Parliament, including increases in 3 taxes: the Tourism Goods and Services Tax (TGST) on tourism facilities. Changes will affect the Value Added Tax Act, the Maldives Tourism Act, and the Maldives Airport Tax and Fees Act, resulting in higher rates for TGST, Green Tax, and Airport Development Tax and Fees.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة والدرجة الرفيعة وبعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته وارزقنا شفاعته برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
ಮಗುಮತಿಗೆ ಸಲಾಮತ ರಕ್ಕಾತಿರಿಕಮಂ ಹೆದಿಫಾವಾ ಕವಾದುತಕ ಸಮಾಲು ವೆಲವ್ವ ಮಗುಗೆ ವ್ಯಾಫಳಿನ್ ದುವ್ವುಮಂ ಆದಕುರವ್ವ ಮಗುಮತಿ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಹದಾಫಾ ಮಗು ಫುರಾಲಾಗೆ ನುದುವ್ವ ಮಗುಗ ದುವ್ವಾಯಿರು ಬಹ ತಂದೆವ್ವ ದುವ್ವಾಯಿರು ಎಂಗ್ ಉಳಂದು ಅಣಿಂಗ್ ಉಳಂದ ಏಕಶೇನೆ ದುರುಮಿನೆ ಬಹಟ್ಟವ ಲೇನ್ ಬದಲು ಕುರಾಯಿರು ಅದಿ ಗೋಳಿ ಅಳಾಯಿರು ರಂಗಳ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ದಿನುಮಂ ಆದಕುರವ್ವ ಮಗುಮಚಕಿ ಎಮ್ಮೆಂಗೆ ತಣೆ ಮಗುಮತೀಗ ಎಮ್ಮೆಂಗೆ ಸಲಾಮತ ರಕ್ಕಾತಿರಿಕಮ ವಿಸ್ನವ ಫರುದೆ ಜಿಮ್ಮಾ ಅದಾ ಕುರವ.
The Ministry of Finance introduces a new rule to impose fines on bidders, suppliers and contractors participating in state tenders. This regulation clarifies penalties for offences that were not previously specified in the Finance Rules and Finance Act. The new rule outlines 16 offences, including submitting incorrect documents, concealing information and obstructing other bidders. The Procurement Appeal Board will investigate and act against violations. Under the rule, offenders may face fines of up to 2.5% of the total bid price, with penalties assessed based on the severity of the offence. Suspension from bidding can last from 3 months to 1 year for first offences, 2 to 3 years for second offences, and up to 5 years for further violations. Suspension may be extended if new offences occur within 3 years of a prior suspension. Affected parties will be informed of the reasons for fines and suspensions and will have 5 business days to respond. They also have the option to request a retrial under the new regulations. The Labour Relations Authority (LRA) announces a minimum compensation of $91,149 for individuals who die due to workplace incidents. The LRA has introduced the Workplace Safety and Health Regulations, which outline the compensation framework for injuries, disabilities and fatalities occurring in the course of employment. Workers who sustain injuries resulting in either temporary or permanent disability or lose their lives due to work-related activities are entitled to compensation that covers medical expenses, lost wages during treatment, and damages associated with disability or death. Employers are mandated to provide appropriate medical treatment to injured employees to facilitate their recovery. Compensation for lost wages during the period of absence can be claimed upon submission of a leave certificate from a registered healthcare provider. The compensation amounts are determined by the severity of the disability, with permanent disabilities eligible for compensation for a minimum duration of 10 years, ranging from $82,034 to $1.2 million. In the unfortunate event of a worker's death while on duty, the deceased heirs may seek compensation. If the death results from an accident without contractor negligence, the heirs are entitled to $32,553. In cases involving negligence, this amount increases to $65,106. Furthermore, a minimum compensation of $95,056 is stipulated for fatalities directly linked to job-related activities, with a maximum cap of $1 million. Contractors are required to assist in facilitating the filing of compensation claims. The government announces plans to introduce a special insurance scheme and a pension scheme for athletes. At the Maldives Sports Awards 2024, Minister of Sports, Fitness and Recreation, Abdullah Rafi announced the introduction of a special insurance and pension scheme for national team players and athletes. Funding for the insurance scheme has been allocated in next year's budget, demonstrating the government's commitment to supporting athletes and sports associations. Minister Rafi noted the establishment of a system for immediate medical treatment for injured players and compulsory medical facilities at venues for national and international competition. Discussions are underway with the Ministry of Education to launch the Maldives Presidential National Fitness Program. The minister also highlighted efforts to revise the payment system for national athletes to enhance their salaries. He expressed optimism about the future of sports in the Maldives, pledging unprecedented growth and addressing athletes' concerns with determination. Moreover, RAFE announced plans to create dedicated sports facilities for each national sport within 5 years, responding to concerns from athletes and associations. The government has signed an MOU with Saudi Arabia for sports development and is seeking assistance from other countries. In the past year, the government has invested $14.6 million in sports development, reflecting its commitment to advancing the sector. The national teams have excelled, securing 22 medals in 74 international events since last November. Finally, the National Sports Development Fund (NSDF) has been created as part of a long-term strategy to develop exceptional athletes, with plans already underway to achieve podium finishes at the Asian Games and Olympics. PSMNEWS as a leading name in Maldivian sports journalism, earning accolades at the Maldives Sports Awards for its commitment to delivering comprehensive coverage of Maldives sports. PSM's Yes TV was honored as the best channel in the 2023 Maldives Sports Awards, thanks to its live coverage of various sporting events and a range of programs dedicated to athletes. Over the past year, Yes TV has significantly expanded its reach, becoming the most watched channel in the country and earning the trust of sports associations. The channel has successfully broadcast major sporting events in the Maldives and has played a vital role in representing the nation on the international stage. Yes TV also features a daily 20-minute sports bulletin covering everything from athletics to cricket finals, establishing itself as a unique brand in sports media. Additionally, PSMNEWS was named the best online sports news outlet at the awards. Established to modernize newsroom operations, PSMNEWS has become a key source for sports content, delivering the latest results and updates on various tournaments and athletes. Despite being a small team, the sports desk at PSMNEWS produces daily bulletins and covers a wide range of sports-related programs, consistently making headlines in competing media outlets. The achievements of PSMNEWS and Yes TV reflect the growing trust of viewers and readers in Maldivian sports journalism. There has been a remarkable 45% increase in the number of Chinese tourists visiting the Maldives, with no other competing country showing similar growth. So far this year, 233,332 tourists from China have traveled to the Maldives, marking a significant rise compared to the same period last year. According to the latest tourism update report from the Ministry of Tourism, China has become the largest source of tourists for Maldives, representing 14.8% of the market share. Notably, more than 12,000 Chinese tourists arrived in the first 16 days of this month alone. In comparison, Russia ranks as the second largest source of tourists, with 172,142 visitors recorded this year. This results in a difference of 61,190 tourists between the two countries. Overall, the Maldives has welcomed a total of 1,573,991 tourists this year, reflecting a 9.5% increase from 1,437,220 during the same time frame last year. The influx of tourists in October has also risen by 7.6%, with 81,964 arrivals this month compared to 76,172 in October of the previous year. Current statistics indicate that the Maldives receives an average of 5,123 tourists daily. The government has set an ambitious target to attract 2 million tourists by the end of the year, and this goal is anticipated to be met by December. Workers in China's capital voiced worries about their economic prospects on Friday after Beijing posted its worst quarterly growth in over a year that it's hoping to correct with a slew of stimulus measures. The 4.6% expansion in July-September is the latest evidence that the country's post-pandemic recovery continues to sputter as it suffers from sluggish consumption and a prolonged property sector crisis. While officials have launched a string of policies over the past 2 years to reignite economic activity, they have had little effect. There are hopes that a raft of stimulus unveiled since late last month will finally put the country back on track, but there is a worry that authorities are still not doing enough. In its announcement on Friday, the National Bureau of Statistics acknowledged a complicated and severe external environment as well as new problems of domestic economic development. The measures unveiled last month were aimed at kickstarting consumption and addressing a painful debt crisis in the real estate sector. The announcements, the most far-reaching in years, set off a blistering market rally fueled by hopes for a long-awaited bazooka stimulus, but optimism has since tapered as a series of briefings left investors wanting. In Beijing, people remained cautious about spending. North Korea has decided to send a large-scale troop deployment to support Moscow's war in Ukraine, with 1,500 special forces already in Russia's Far East and undergoing training, said South Korea's spy agency on Friday. The National Intelligence Services said the North had decided to send thousands of soldiers to help Russia, releasing detailed satellite images it said showed the first deployment. South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol convened an emergency security meeting on Friday, with Seoul slamming Pyongyang's move as a significant security threat not only to their country but also to the international community. The NIS said it had detected that from the 8th to the 13th of October, North Korea transported its special forces to Russia via a Russian Navy transport ship, confirming the start of North Korea's military participation in Russia's war in Ukraine. According to the NIS, multiple Russian landing ships and frigates have already completed transporting the first contingent of troops who are currently stationed in military bases across Russia's Far East. It said that the Special Forces soldiers are expected to be deployed to the front lines of the Ukraine conflict as soon as they complete acclimatization training. It also said that the soldiers have been issued Russian military uniforms and Russian-made weapons. NIS said more troops are likely to be sent soon, adding that it estimated the North could send around 12,000 soldiers in total. Pyongyang and Moscow have been allies since North Korea's founding after World War II and have grown even closer since Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine, with Seoul and Washington long claiming that Kim Jong-un has been sending weapons for use in Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin made a rare visit to Pyongyang in June, with the two countries signing a mutual defense treaty, fueling speculations of further arms transfers, which violates rafts of UN sanctions on both countries. Liverpool manager Arne Slot said on Friday that it is too soon to judge his league-leading side. The Dutchman has enjoyed a record-breaking start to his tenure at Anfield, but has been measured in his response as he says they have yet to face a top side, although that is all about to change with the visit of in-form Chelsea. Slot, the first Liverpool manager to win 9 of his first 10 games in charge, must now steer the leaders through a tough schedule, with a grueling run of 10 games in 3 competitions that could go a long way to shaping their season.
If you judge your team only on a week, that would not be fair. So I think we have to judge us as a team after this spell of games. Not 3 of them, but 6, 7 or 8 of them. Then we know better how we act and how we perform if we play tough Champions League games and tough league games. That is normal in everybody's season, and we know how difficult it is. We've seen that ourselves 2 years ago when we played Champions League. We've seen this last season with Manchester United, and the only ones who showed that they can perform Champions League and in the league are City and Arsenal in the last 2 seasons. So now it's up to us, but I don't think it's fair to judge us after a week. Even though if we do really well, wouldn't be fair. But if the best way to judge us is in 4 weeks.
Liverpool have 18 points after 7 games, having scored 13 goals and conceded 2, to stand a point ahead of Manchester City and Arsenal, while Chelsea are 4th on 14. Chelsea have won all 3 of their league games on the road this season by a combined score of 10-2. Liverpool's grueling stretch of matches, which includes a trip to Arsenal on October 27 and the visit of Manchester City on December 1st, is poor timing considering first-choice goalkeeper Alisson is expected to miss most of it. Slot, however, is confident his number 2, Ireland international Kelleher, can fill in seamlessly. The members of hugely successful pop group One Direction said they were completely devastated by the death of bandmate Liam Payne, who fell from the balcony of his hotel room at the age of 31. Family members said they were heartbroken as condolences poured in from the world of music, fans, and the office of British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Singer Rita Ora interrupted a concert saying she can't even sing. NSYNC said the bandmates were deeply saddened, and the Backstreet Boys, as well as Rolling Stones guitarist Ronnie Wood, were also among those who paid tribute to the British singer. In Argentina, an autopsy suggested that Payne had not tried to stop his fall on Wednesday and may have fallen in a state of semi or total unconsciousness before his death. One Direction band members Niall Horan, Harry Styles, Louis Tomlinson, and Zayn Malik said on social media that they are completely devastated by the news of Liam's passing. In a separate tribute on Instagram, Styles said Payne's greatest joy was making other people happy. He wrote that the years spent together will forever remain among the most cherished years of his life. Tomlinson described Payne as the kind brother he'd longed all his life for. He said on Instagram that Liam was, in his opinion, the most vital member of One Direction. Payne was found dead after hotel staff called emergency services twice to report a guest who is overwhelmed by drugs and alcohol and destroying his room, according to leaked audio. Post-mortem results indicated that he was alone at the time of the fall and was going through an episode of substance abuse. Payne's family issued a statement saying they would remember him for his kind, funny and brave soul and asking for privacy. That's it for now. Thank you for watching. Have a pleasant day ahead. Bye-bye. अस्सलाम वालेकुम दुनिया के खाली प्रोग्राम बहुत ही बेमहफरात का मरहबा दनवा मियाद के प्रोग्राम एक्सपर्ट दखले उतम बहुत मियाद के प्रोग्राम के सारुना को हम हरमिंग हती बफना साहब में के मालूमात के तहलील तफसीली मालूमात हिस्सा को लुमट कार में के लिस्ट जावात पैरवडा करनवा और बड़ा मरहबांगे तो जावात प्रोग्राम Arming Hamiado ke program ga haboda mi balalani Hamas ke leader Yahya Asinwar Shahid koloma gulige mikam ke hepai tafsil taka ema furtama harming ha ma aitur suwal taka dim ke kuring mi Hamas ke leader Yahya Asinwar abe kuru taraf de bidanito
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh Ada Yahya Asinwar ki wara wargad mujahide ene ki hama mul islami duni wes fakhru wer bawaruge wara hivwarugada adi wara kere adi wara duruisne adi khasako masjid al-aqsa himayatuga tedwada fa befure muli haya kahal gotaka mi takhsis kurevi hama Palestine ge miniwan kama Palestine ge rayitunge mi miniwan kama emi honna wazan hoda dinuma adegi turun Israelun mavega masjid al-aqsa ya dekola hinga udwana gona taka mikanta taka dekola jihad kurevomuka em faham mi shahid wada tiwes hama jihaduge maidanuga atuga hatiyar ove ena beenuwes waagenge eggod kawes Israel buna gotaka tanegge fila ogenenno nuniya shield eggotuga aamum beenu koggen ena bingarahe gove ove vesnu ad ena hodan Israel kuri masakatege tereng en vesnu ena fenuniki hama ehem mujahidune ke eggota gazzaga hama hatiyar hifagen Israel ade kola sharaf veri kamuga jihad korongonduko evvur bud sharafen nonan mujahidaka enak amilla wazanuga difauga enak muqaddas tantanuga difauga e masjid al-aqsa ad islami ummatuga difauga enak rayitunga difauga Palestine ge shiar kiyesi ngeto Hamas ge sad mujahidun ge jamaatuga shiar kiyi ei mi yani shahidun nuniya miniwanka nulbekama wanya shahid wanden miniwanka mamase kuru jihad kuru an-nasr aw al-istishhad ema e shiaruga dashun hama ena mi shahid wegen diis hama egota ane miniwan kamuge masakatuga uluwaniko e jihad uluwaniko den sinwara ki nawaste fastulas devana harufam wadanne befude gazza fam wadan fawani talim hasil karwa fawani are bahuge adabuge dairain den ega fahun ei gazza ge mi islamic university ga gazza hunnane al azhar university ge branch eto ege goppe etanon talim hasil karwa fawani bachelors hasil karwa fawe efaho ena nawaste addiya deegga goli wadati mi yani Palestine ge jihad eto Palestine minimum kama masekura jamaat taka den godanwan Hamas ufedigin di addi hashen hisabuga Hamas ufedmuga kurim wes sinwarwani Palestine ge kek jamaat taka guligen adi fathu jamaata skul wadagen jihad harakat ulwa fa kon sobun ena hayyer ko fanawaste addiya deegga hayyer ko fahatar warkan harfan do kollafwe ekam ega fahon aneka Hamas ufaddagen Hamas ke gina gofitan ufeddum ga waran istawren ada kuri khas kon Hamas ke jasusi baya Hamas ke mi yani askari baya mitantan ufeddum ga waran istawren ada kuri ekam go sobun bigota ki ena ga maccan nawaste addi hashigga Israel ngena hayyer ko fa ena ga maccan umur do ga hatar hukume umur duha jalalum ga hatar hukumen eren waccan ibbi hema nawaste addi ashakum fashigen dehas 11 hamen en honne Israel ge jaluta hoga tevi saharu Israel ge jaluga en honne hama Palestine ge difauga er kavenya vesnu kurwa hama zuwan dossaru ge den dehas 11 wan haru en minimum koren jehuni mi deal ge dashu nge to Israel ge mi asiraku Hamas ge dashka asiraku do kolluma hedi deal ge tereng enhas mihun Palestine ge enhas mujahidun Israel ge jaltogawa Palestine ge enhas mujahidun do kollumge deal ge tereng dehas 11 ge ena do kolli minimum kuri ekam ene kalum denne hen Israelun ene ki bodku veri kan hadafa eku veri kam wona ena Palestine minimum kam taka jihad kurati amgote ge holong mi huriha istimari baratakum wes minimum kam masa kura huriha farata kam de ken terrorist ngotu ida aluna akamenno den emi honna kom wes massa denno eki emi honna di mala terrorist unne adi evra bodu echke kiyas minimum kam taka kura masakata ki emi hon wara fakhru werwa kamengi adi kom bekas fakhru werwan ekiyane echke kiyas massa denne kom megot ka sifa kuriyas kom fadaniya dinas minimum kam masa kura farata kom ekam dulen nukuran ema sinwar minimum wadagati dihas 11 minimum wadagat mafaw kamenyus kurwa fawe angin kujjaka de firhin kudin di wadam fawe enamas enaga muli haya yafawes masa kurbi hama Palestine jihad den හමාස්ගේ ගස්සා ගොන්නවා ගොෆීගේ ඉස්වරියක්කන් දෙහස් 16 වන්න හරු ලිබඩන්නේ දැන් එෆහු දෙහස් 17 වන්න හරු හැම වෙසේන හොන්නේ මේ මගාමුග දැන් එම ෆහුන් මීදියා මේ අනේ තුෆාන ලක්සෝ මිකියා දෙහස් 23 වන්න හරුගේ ඔක්ටෝබර් 7 ගේ හමලා ඉස්රායල දෙකොළ බෙදින් හමලාවිස් රේවමුගේ මඩි ගොරිකම ඉස්රායල මුරණි සින්වාර් එවඩන්නවනේ හමලායකී ෆලස්තීන් රයියතුන් ඉස්රායල ගණියාවරිකමක් එක්කොගෙන නුතිබේනකම් අද ඒගේ ඉතුරුන් ඒරුන් අරබින් වෙස් අරබින් තරෙස් බයක් ගෙන්දියේ ඉස්රායල ගා ගොඩුන් තකන් ෆද්දා ෆලස්තීන් මස්සල් ඔබ්බාලම මස්සේ කරුම් එහෙම එහුරිහාකමක දෙකොළ අධික ඉතුරුන් මස්සලක් සොය කරා ගෝනායා ෆලස්තීන් මස්සල් ඔබ්බාලම කරා මසක්කතා ෆලස්තීනුගේ මස්සල් දූකොල්ලාෆා අරබින්නා ඉස්රායල ගුලිගෙන් අරබින් තරෙන් බයක් ගුලිගෙන් මස්සල මොන ඔබ්බාලා එහෙම මස්සලේ ෆෙම්මත් කොග්ගේ මස්සලේ කි ඊරානුගේ මස්සලේ කි මොරෙන්නේ නේද ෆලස්තීන් මස්සලේ නෝලේ කිය මුල් ඉති ඔළුවාලා ඊරානා දෙකොළන් අරබින්නා ඉස්රායල ගුලිගෙන් බඩු ෆ්‍රන්ටෙන් එකුලවාලන් ඇමරිකා ඩේ ගොවෙන් කුරි මසක්කතා මිහුරිහාකම කා ගොඩිගෙන් ෆලස්තීන් මස්සල ඔබ්බාලුමා ෆලස්තීන් මස්සල හඳානත්තාලුමා ෆලස්තීනුගේ බින්තහුගේ යහූදීන් වසම්වර කුරුමා දෙදවලක් හල්ලු නගාලුමා මිහුරිහාකම කා ගොඩි දෙකොළක් මි තෝෆාන ලක්සෝ මි දියේ ඉංගේතෝ එයා එක්ක ඉංගොඩන්න මුලි මෙදිරුමති මුලි කුරිහාකම මෙති එකොළ කොළුන් ජෙහිෆා එම මිකන්තව අඩි ගොරිකම ඉස්රායලෙන් තුමත් කරන්නේ සින්වාර් එන්නමස් ෆලස්තීන් දෙකේ ගොතුගා අදි ඉස්ලාමී එහෙන් කවමතකුම් වෙස් අදි මුලි ඉස්ලාමී දුනියස් දෙකේ ගොතුගා මේ වර්ගද ජිහාදුග අමලෙන් මේ ජිහාදුග අමල් ෆෂාගෙන් ඉස්රායල් මෑතිරු කුරවේනි කොමිගොත් කස් මේ හගුරාම් කරන්නේ ඒ වර්ග දෙෆරාතගේ මෙදුගෙන් එහෙම ශහීදුමකි ඒ මේ යන්නේ මසක කරා ජිහාද් කරා මේ හොන්න ඒ ඔක්කම ඒත ඒ ශහීද් නුවණකම කබලාගෙන නෝ මිනෝකම ජිහාද් කරන්නේ කි දැන කමිනෝකම ජිහාද් මිකරන වුන් දන්නේ එහෙන් දෆාත් එවර්ග දෙබාරකයන් උඩා බිම තෆා දෙබේ ගෙහිමි මිහුන් හියනු කරානේ මිහුන් නකන් ඉස්රායල් කොච්ච කාස්කරි ගොතුන් කුල්ලික කාමියාබ හොදෙන ඒකත් ක විශ්නාගෙන නෝ අද ශහීද් නුවණකම විශ්නාගෙන විශ්නු එකන් කරන්නේ කි දැන් එමිහුන් එවර් වාම් වෙජ්ජියා එවර බාර හොදාගෙන ප්‍රම විජක දොක්ස් නුවණකම එම අබදුස් මිනෝකම අසකර ෆරාතකම එකන් කරන්නේ කි හම හාලතෙන් ඇස්ගෙන නෝ ඒත හම එබේක වෙවුන වරකුන් එබේක මසෙකෝගෙන් මිනෝකම මසෙක් කරන්නේ එම ඒගොතුන් එන සෙමසෙක් කුරි එහෙම දෙහස් 23 නහරුම් ෆිෂිගෙන් එන හොන්නේ හමාස්ගේ මේ අස්කරි කන්තත්තෝගේ මේ ඉස්වරියක දැන් ඒකේ ෆහුන් එවඩන්නවා මිදියා මේ ඔක්තෝබර් මොහොගේ තෙරේ ගේනවනි මේ මිදියා ඔක්තෝබර් නෙමෙයි මිදියා සෙප්තැම්බර් මොහොතේ ඊරාන වන්නවනිකෝ හමාස්ගේ ලීඩර් හනියා ආහාර කොල්ලි මෆහු ඒක ෆහුන් එනවනි හමාස්ගේ ඉස්වරියාගේ මකාම අයියන් කොෆා මේ ඉස්වරියාගේ මකාම වන්නවනිකෝ මේ ශහීද් කොල්ලි
Armena hama kurko tafsil kol de fananto mi sinwar shahid kol de vige media koi
ad sinwar shahid kollan Israel ulet awarad kina doswijje mi Israel uruni duniya dakkan mi sinwar kurakam ke Hamas ke mihum mitibeni isveri mitibeni war aram gay rayyatum ge terege filage ne mihum eureni ehmeyet wanna rayyatum maranje e dakam Israel mi libuni war bodu lande e to Hamas ke jihad mujahidun ekkon ena hanguramaage tere golenukon hama amunna ekko mi vettifawaage taka rabulstoge terege ena israel verinna israelge mi istimari bharata kanun israelge terroristuna kurimat lumge tere golenukon ena shahidu eggot ko sena horiki palestine mi hun enaga fahatuga amum bati bagen ena bodu gondiye gendegen takhte gendegen ena bodu raskal kawegen hutta kanu ei ena emi sifa kurigo ngeto mi uleni ki palestine masale no mi uleni mi hun ne mi aram go mi palestine mi hun ge tere fila wade filagen මිමිහුම් මේ ඉස්රායල් හමලා දිහ ෆිලාගෙන නෙමියුන එහෙන් කියාෆා එක්කල මුලි ජිහාදක මුලි ඔපරේෂන් මිමිහුම් වනි ඔළුවාලා මේ නුබාකම කන් හදම් වෙගේ එකම එහෙනෙන් නෝ ෆෙරුණී කි දුනිය ඉංගේතෝ හොද හුලංගු වෙස් කබූල් කුරාන හොද හුලංගු ගොම්ත කීවිස් ඉංගේතෝ නාසි ජර්මනා මේ ෆරාත් කද්ද කොළන් හම ජිහාද් කුර ෆරාත් හොද ඇමරිකාවේ වෙසගේ ඇමරිකාවේ ජෝර්ජ් වොෂින්ටන් ආවේ මිහුම් ඉංග්‍රීසි ඉස්තිමාරාද කොළ ජිහාද් කොක්ගෙන් වෙත්තිය මිහුම් මිනුවකන් හොදා එහෙම ජිහාද් කුරානක මිසාලක මිහාරස් यूरोप के गवर्नमेंट इस्तेमाल को बल हमें में तेरे में सिनवार नो कुन्ना नहीं तो एकम एबिन गबूल करन बेरन नो एमने से एगे एने के मुजाहिद एक अदे एना बिम मी यानी मिनुवा करन कुन्ना ने कम बस अदे सिनवार ने तिहे मी हुन कुन्ना ने कम बस एमे बोडंगे कहेंगे ने यूरोप में हुन अमेरिका में हुन ये तो इस्राएल इस्तेमाल वागरे फरात कहेंगे एमे एक आगे का तो आगां एवा को देखिक्स ये तो एमे नेगे ने कास्ट मुजाहिद हमरा गलेंगे अदे इस्राएल मी यानी अमा का नुलबेन का फलस्तीन बिमुन फाबे adi huriha kama kis Israel kan Israel e gendaniya sam terrorism amal hingamun kan Israel kan mi huriha no bay mi aneket mi kurani Palestine ko binta dinu wadde kol hada altalu gaanu ka gonjaha mi aamum mara genocide hinga Gaza holocaust hinga ingeto Hitler kora kan takko mi huriha kama kan Israel kan e Europe mi onna bes ebi ekan gabul no kurikas noni itarafam berno yeks ngeta emene sengen Palestine masala ogen ka Palestine me jihad korani eves mihek bunati nuka ema huriya ka balar so fenige mediyei ena hama ena hodan kuri masakka nakamiyaba kulli kan ena fenigen diya kamen asu ema emihungo molukamon emihungo jasus idara molukamakon එහෙම වි කමෙන්ඩ් ඕමේකි නේද ජාසුස් ඉදරගෙන හොදන් උඩ තකිතම තෝ ජාත් මේ කුරි බොන සින්වර වනි මේ ශහීද් වෙෆේස් එකම ආම එන වරන් හැම යෝහාලක ආමුගේ තෙරේක මෙදෙන ආමන්නේ මෙබනේ මුජාහිද්ගේ තෙරේක මුජාහිදින එක්ක හබරම් කරන පයින් ශහීද් වෙෆවනි දැන් ඊශ්‍රායල් වර ෆොනි කැන්ඩීස් නේතෝ එමි වර බොඩා වීස් එන එමි බොංගලාගේ මේ බොංගලාගේ එසස්නට් කුරිය නෝනේ හැම හංගුරාමාගේ තෙරේක හැම ශහීද් මරුවගෙන් දී එමි හංගුරාම් කරන එම එන බේනුස් වාගෙන බුනාවස් පුනේ තිමන්න එම උෆාවන දුවා කි තිමන්න ෆලස්තීනුගේ බිමුග ෆලස්තීනුගේ දිෆාවක ජිහාද් කුරණි කොත් තිමන්න නැතිගෙන් දුවෙනෙන්ගේ එන මෙනෙන්ගේ එන ශහීදුගෙන් දානික එනස් මීගේ මේ පොයින්ට් කියවුණු දෙන්නේ හේ ගස්ஸාගේ දෙකුණුගෙන් ගේ තෝ ගස්ஸාගේ තෝන් රෆා හිසාබුග කුල්ලි කන් එන ෆෙනොනි ඉස්රායිල් ෆෙන්නේ සරහදු එගොත කස් කුරින්ස්ර හොදන් උලගෙන් වී කමෙන් නොමීකි අදි ඉස්රායිල් ජහසුස් ඉදාරා මොළුවෙන් එමිහුන් එන ඔලේ තරේ බලා වෙතර මේ ටාගටඩ් බොන් අලා එහෙම් වී කම වෙස්නෝ ඒනහම කුල්ලියක ෆෙනිගෙන් ඒ බදල් කුරි හමලාතක ගෙන ශහීද් වෙගෙන්දී එම ඒගොතන් හිගාති කම්මියස්
සින්වර් ශහීද් වමකි ෆලස්තීන්ගේ මිනිවන්කම්ගේ ජිහාදන් අදී මි හාසකොන් හමාස් සමාත මිලිපිගෙන් දානේ කියා වරගේ පොඩු ගෙල්ලම කවගෙන් දානතෝ
එවෙ ශක්කෙන් ගෙල්ලම කවාන දෙත්තෝ අවුන් මෙදිකුත් කොස් එකන් මී අනේ මෙහා කුඩ කුඩ කමකන් හදනියෙන් නෝ ඒතෝ එගුත් කොස් හම බොඩු මස්සලේ මියස් හම ජිහාද විස්මීග දොළුන් අරානේ ඒ සින්වාරකී වරවරගද මාස්ටර්මයින්ඩ් වරවරගද කැරිස්මැටික් ශඛ්සියතේ වර දුරාලා විස්නා කන්තත රාවාමි කොද ඉස්රායිල් ජෙහෙලුම් වාමි නේද බල ඒන ගස්ஸාග ඒනම ඒන ශහීද් කොල්ලන් ඉස්රායිල් උලේ තා මෙහර වෙජ්ජේ දිහවරකන් හරු එන ශහීද් කොල්ල එකම ගස්ஸාක ඉස්රායිල් වන හිසෝර්ක ෆෙයිතන් එකම කොබල්ල එම් ෆවගතු ගස් ඒගොතක මරේ ශහීද් කොල්ල නුලවුනේ නොත හම ඒන නුකුමෙගෙන් උලේ මේ ජිහාදගේ තෙරේක ශහීද් වෙගෙන් මිදී දැන් මේ හමාස්ගේ මේ යන්නේ ජිහාද ශොකෙ ලිබේනේ අදි ඒ තන්සීම වෙස් මිදෙනවි හමාස්ගේ ඔනිගඬ වෙස් උඳගොතක කුරුමෙත් වානේ ඒ සිනවාරුගේ බෑෆරි හැම කුරුමකි කුල්ලියක ෆසිය කමෙන්නෝ මේතෝ එව ශක්කෙන් මේ අසර කුරාන් එකම ඒගමානේ කි වක මීහක ශහීද් වෙගෙන් jihad hottu menno geto molu mihe ena waruge mihe kama mifahkan as nufenna waru befule ehennama wes ena replace kore waruge mihun tibe ngeto ehennama misala ka kitam mihun to shahid kolli ahmad al-jabari ngeto mi yani abdulaziz rentisi dr abdulaziz rentisi ene ki medical doctor ene ki hamas ge is dewan miha goto kore befule ena sawhar kolli mi ahmad yasin sheikh ahmad yasin furuli gondi gennawa befule ene ngeto eneki nukule debe hamas ke yani founder fatisnamada daniko ena shahid kolli fatisnamada furuli gondi ke daniko ngeto egme singe israel ga aniya verkan f sola ga matinda bot takun gondi egge in nikameti nukule de shehak hamaladi shahid kolli mege israel balifa balikashik ngeto eneki hinge mi henno eneki nukule de mi eme egota kitab befulun to shahid kolli hamas ke haddi hawrigina leaderunna commanderunna mihun shahid kollafe ekama hamas ke hamalat vi warugad hamas ke jihad ke yani hivwar vi gada ngedo annana waguttake ehnama segen ara ganna mehan sak balla hizbullah pes lodun takin eriyen nonto nasrullah shahid kollima ehnas balla khod mi sinwar ahar kolli wagud hizbullah in israel ge फस मीहक मरा जाफे एम एलीट फोर्स गोलानी फोर्स के फस मीहक मरा जा हम एवगुतु देखुन लुबनान हम एगुतु हमास में एवगुतु मी यानी गज्जा के जबालिया सरहद के साथ थी मीहक मरा जाफे ये देखुन लुबनान के इस्राएल के फस मीहक मरा जाफे एमा मी यानी सिनवार शहीद को लिवगुतु के इस्राएल को अम मीहक मरा जाफे ये तो अने का हिजबुल्लाह इंगोडान और मिता के स्वाग देख हिजबुल्लाह दे हमला त मेहर मिदनी nasrullah ge dostor ge sunu de warga norkatin hamalata be israel ge emme elite force khan tibba emihunge emme bod base tibba eta fural watta da fa hizbullah ge de drone wetti kan israel ge haddiya wargina mi haddi hamihun zakham kulla adi hatar mi maral adi zakham mi hunge tere israel ge sifang veriya har si helevis wakaman අඩු එරි ගේත ඒක ෆාක් මෙන එනුස් ෆෙනේ එනුස් එන මරුණවා කම වනි කම එන zaham be faa කම බයි report තබොනේ mi nasullaga dosara wara wargada ad mihar hizbullah nge bone timanda men den kunani wara wargada feerame ge timanda watuga botte isala kurmat lan bahar anaka israel ballo israel ves maqsadin hasil ehma hamas ves samay wani hamas ves lolun aran daita kes timawa nika mega ara ganna ngeto awu meden ara nuganna nama mi kital mi engineer unto shahid kolli ngeto rocket engineer unna engas rocket science ge mi hunna hamas ge tibe wara molati befodo ngeto IT mi hunna engos eta baavar mujahidun shahid kulli khas ko bodet engineer ngeto IT daira mi hunna software engineer unna hardware engineer unna eta bay shahid kulli sam hamas ke mi technical bas war war emi hunge mi karkhana ta se bohori emi workshop ta se bohori emi hunge enu chita se bohori ad miharas israelum ki ke to kya to gaza aragati 3 hafta tere hamas ida jassadan en har virus miharas hamas fon wa ki fon wa ngeto israel kan control evisne ema elolong areas eba hama doskolakum adon fubede
armena feningo se mi sinwa shahid wuma ekuka israel aragena kami israel ge amo maguta kannu kume aikan ami faal kunumge kantake ufa faal kunumge kantake kuregen gos awata adi manzar te salmena fena video ta sepore sinwa shahid wuma ki israel lebuna kamyabi ek gotuga pele vidane to mivara mi gota mi amalta fena badairo
de ingoda no an mi israel ka askari gota kunne awu denne technical කාමයාබතක මිලිබෙන මිසාක එන් අහර වයර්ස් එමිහුන්ගේ අස්තු මක්සද් හාසු නොවීම දෙන් රයිතුන දක්කා නැති තීම මේ වාගතක කොම්මිස්තරකම් ලීඩර් එක ශහීද් කොල්ලනි දෙ මිෆාර එමිහුන් ටාගට් කොගෙන් කුරි කමෙන් නොමි කියස් මිහම කුල්ලියක දිමාවි කමෙන් අස්සු එනමස් ටාගට් කොගෙම සබුරි කොෆා අගුණ එකන් ගබුල් කරන් ජෙහෙන් මිසාලකම් හමාස් ගේ ලීඩර් කුරිගේ ලීඩර් ඉස්මාල් හනියා අද හිස්බුල්ලාගේ ලීඩර් මි හසන් නස්රුල්ලා adi hizbullah bay commander kama israel target ko gen dura lara agen eburi edem bonwe dan ei tactical kamyabi taiki anu dano komes kamyabi take no hode ekam israel kahara baharugada mideni hatiyar ge gotu duniyage nevvaruge baharugada gawme noniya entity hulawunge huriha himayat ka ekko hulawunge huriha madad ka ekko hulawunge huriha jasusi malumat ka ekko en ahardo harakat irwairuga kobahiye israel yulan kuri maqsadta hasil wefa e maqsadta hasil nuwima israel ge terega hama nataniya dokola muzahara kuri tan sargun kita farto muzahara kuri eto hima sinwar kahada befulaku adi oligen namois eto idanna wa hama kulli gotaka fenige emihun komme raawagena bisnu fenigen namois shahid kollewuma ki emihun dakkane dettoi kamyabe gotuwa adi nudakken israel terega mikan dekulu jessena gote visnona ne wagata ki nataniya hoya deterege mi dekevni nataniya ki mi hama hitlera effada mi hen gota duniyega mi har mi dani ne deterege dekevma wa ka duniyega bay leader mu se bore mi dar misaka urdugan ingeto mi venezuela ga rais den hengos mi ane nicaragua mes bone nicaragua rais vidar vene ki ibiliyo ga dariki anaka israel deterege mi dekevni israel ki mi nazi germana fa den duniyega oin emme norakkater emme biruveri adi emme aniyawer gawmi ema mihuriha kamek ve fanika alif talun beer korwe sebo wala duniyek me alif talun israel beer korwich alif tal ki war akhlaq hor ko israel ki war akhlaq hor bay none wala norakkater entity ki yes ema mihuriha kamaka ekko maqsad hasil nove hizbullah bade no korevi hamas bade no korevi asirak minwan no korevi gaza ekko control no korevi israel ang aman kamen neti israel guriya mihunta furagen dani ingeto mole sikundi takaichi mole doctor unna fanni farata kohoriachi dairuga mikal kama koroni ma e ufa falakon e sarkar taal kora farata quran nonto hama definitely එක quran ingeto e mena kannete hen gote war bodu ecche gotko dakkani kama me dos kole wani ingeto hamare kolange jeheni me hamsa kalwon mena hama hindi film tukos fennani misaka nubaba leadera batula de tere hinga kanta irkolakon batul warga dawani ingeto අනක අයරකොල කොන බෑ බජෙටර් වර්ග තවන්නේ එම එකහගතක දාන්නේ මීති නේද එම එමිහුන් නම් එලිබේ ෆුර්සතුගා මේ වර වරවදකම කන් දක්කානේ නගල මේ අනේ හමාස වගති ගෙල්ලම අන්නානේ මේක එහෙනම් වෙස් මිහ වගති කමෙන්ස් නේද කුරීග හමාස් ලීඩර් ශහීද් කොල්ලීරුග කුරීග ලීඩර් ශහීද් කොල්ලීරුග හමාස් ගණන් වර ලීඩර් නෙවිස් එකම් ඒරුගස මේක තම ෆූබෙද්දි අදි මිහාරවති බේවර මාගෙන නේද කෙලිබා හොරි මිහුන් leadership එක වර වර්ග leadership තමයි හමාස් එහෙම ඒ රිප්ලේස් කරා කමාගෙන තෝ දෙන්න ගන්න එනමස් අවුන් මිදන්නවනි මේ සිනවරක හදාගේ බෙෆලේ නෝනේ එංගේ තම වර්ගද බෙෆලෙන් ඒ ගෙල්දුණු වර බොඩු හම වරක් අගුණ කරේ වර්ග බොඩු අනේ ලීඩර් මිගෙල්ලිගෙන් දී එනමස් ඒක මානේ කවුණු දෙන්නේ එහෙන් ඒක ඉස්රායල් ලිබුණු ඒ වර්ග බොඩු කාමයාබෙන් හම ටෙක්නිකල් කාමයාබෙන් yes එංගේ තම වගුති එක්ගුත් ස්ට්‍රැටජික් කමෙන් නෝ ඒක ස්ට්‍රැටජික් කමක වාණි විකම්ග සෝබුන් ඉස්රායල් අමාකල්ලි ඉස්රායල් කනුද වෙන අමාකමේ ෆලස්තීන ගුබින් හිෆාගෙන් ඔන්න හා දෝහක් ඉස්රායල් කනුද වෙන අමාකමේ එංගේ ඒ හගීගතකි ඒ හගීගෙන් ඒගොතන් ඔතස් එකලා ඒ සරකාර තායද කරා බයකු මගතක නොකම වර බොඩ මේකන් කුරා